Hey everybody, welcome to session 76 of Materia D&D, where we play D&D the way we want to. Uh, Last session, uh, we had an interesting delve into the ethereal here between, as all of the menagerie, barring our turtle wizard, Rock, got junted via some sort of magical enchantment upon the stones that build up that were used to build the boulder fields. Had brought them over to the ethereal, as well as many of the ogres that got, in the last moment, incinerated by a fireball. However, the menagerie were out unconscious due to this transition, as it was a shock to their system. And after a mysterious amount of time, they began to stir and rustle in various cages, um, strewn out amongst the ethereal boulder fields. There, a hulking, bulbous, clothed and cloaked individual that was familiar to a couple of them now, uh, was there waiting for them. Amy, the hag giant. There, she started spouting about how decades of work were not going to go to waste, because of the menagerie's efforts. That it's a shame, and it's a repercussion that all those people that were held at the boulder fields had to be killed because they were so close to bearing fruit under the beliefs of the uh, mother of bounties. And then through some discussion and some cynicality, it quickly became shifted that the hags had hijacked or catfished an old little demigod, the mother of bounties, and were using that faith and that belief to build a base of followers for the real entity that was taking in this worship, their original matron, the Hag Mother. Same Hag Mother that the Menagerie had discovered was banished thousands and thousands of years ago, which, resulted in this entire landscape in this area. Um, Having time to discuss, Amy spoke of obstacles and then the hags overcoming them, and spoke of another obstacle that has now awoken here on the ethereal that was gorging itself on the latent energies that have been brought over from deep root via the siphons and that were on the mills. And here in the ethereal, there's that ever present now fog, like aurora like fog and mist. um, and the hags said that, because of some leverage, having Wiggs and Hava held captive, and another individual captive, um, the hags had some leverage and eventually convinced the menagerie with Sej to join this Leonin adventurer, this Leonin tracker, as it were, that was later known to be introduced as Karos. Um, he's a pretty fucking cool Jedi. Let's be honest here. We're not gonna hide this fact that he's a D&D Jedi. But that Karos would be able to lead the menagerie to stop this obstacle, as if the obstacle, this beast, as it were not to be stopped, that eventually it would become strong enough to just cross over and wreak havoc in the material anyways. So why not stop it while it was at its weakest? Wiggs had created some form of um, artifice device that allowed Karos to tap into some of his gifts, which seemed to be shared by a portion of this beast, which had been stated to be part artifice, part flesh, and part primordial energies in the psionic spectrum. Um, Regardless, with some negotiations and uh, a little, nudging, let's call it, the Menagerie were eventually convinced to go and track down this beast, regaining most of their equipment. Uh, Davis actually rolling a natural 20 or something like that. It was really high. Managed to convince Amy to surrender the soul stone that she had stolen from Davis, as it was of a swamp hag's, I guess. I don't know. It really doesn't make sense to me, but hey, gotta reward your players for high rolls.
Yeah, and it
Uh,
totaled almost 30, I think. It was a 29, I think.
it was 29 if I remember right. But hey, so the Menagerie with Karos took Wiggs's device and used it to traverse this alien landscape that is the ethereal here between. While it is just a reflection or like a slightly different version of what is in the material, this was a landscape of purples and grays with sand being blown, strange insight like sounds all around them. However, not aggressive. Focusing, Karos managed to use the device, and eventually it led them towards, if they were on the material, the direction of the River Sly. However, here, the here between, it was a crevasse that started to head downwards. Heading down into the crevasse, the Menagerie saw this strange coral-like structures that were emanating energy like jolts, however, not aggressively. And they managed to find this cavern thanks to the device as the crystal started spinning out of control, indicating that they were close. In which, when they went into the cavern, the beast, as they know it, was ready and waiting as a massive 30-foot tongue, many, many inches thick, just came lashing out, quickly wrapping itself around the neck and the upper torso of Karos and reeling him back in. In the darkness, the Menagerie heard the sounds of multiple sets of jaws chomping in. Karos in pain, but instead of running, they ran to his aid. And eventually, the Menagerie, with some interesting use of a summon spell, had a fuming little spirit which stabbed and stabbed and stabbed some more. So, throughout all of this, we will be backtracking a little bit to Rock, left alone, bleeding, as I remember multiple javelins were chucked at you, uh, just having released a fireball. You see it make impact as the light from the rocks, the boulders of the boulder fields begin to swirl and become blinding. You shield your eyes. And then by the time you are able to see again, your friends are gone. You're standing on top of the boulder where you were.
Guys, Ragnar, Davis, Al, new guy, Sedge, anybody? I'm gonna start fucking my way out of the area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Easy enough. Using your staff of the croak. Boing, boing, boing. Where are you heading?
More like boing ow, boing ow.
True, true.
I'm hurt.
Yeah. So yeah, you managed to get yourself free of the boulder fields, Ninja Turtle style. There you go. And yeah, what are you? What is your
As
goal?
soon as I'm on the outside, just Dragnar, you're out here, Dragnar, you here, buddy?
Yeah, as you're spending a little time searching, no one. It's still. It's quiet. Uh, I would say that because I was going to ask you to make a roll, but your passive Arcana is high enough. As you're leaving the boulder fields, yeah, because your passive Arcana is a 22. Yeah, of course you got this. There's this slight odor, this almost like after like an electric fire, uh, in the air immediately around you, and that just kind of clicks in your mind that it's dimensional travel, and you're aware of with your intelligence, you're aware that that's how the hags are able to
Yeah,
slip into
I've
the ethereal and everything.
seen the ethereal enough times. I will send out a couple messages
Okay.
just to see if I don't know if it can reach through the ethereal or not.
Mm.
I leave
Uh,
one kind of in the direction I'm seeing everybody as I leave.
mhm.
Just what? Can you hear me? It's Rock. Hello.
Yeah, sort of like with a little bit of initially you thought of, a few messages out and then silence, sending some more, a little bit of desperation and some sadness starts to kick in. No one ever responds.
And head off to Jade.
Okay. Uh, let's see. Yeah, five survival. Yeah. So being able to collect your thoughts and knowing that you're still responsible for others, perhaps trusting your friends and their capabilities, you, as best as you can, book it towards the little tree-like oasis on the outskirts of the eastern side of Green Hill. Uh, and you arrive basically in that little tree patch where you left the dozen or so survivors, uh, Jade, your friend Grong. All right. Hopefully that transitioned.
It did.
Yeah, it did. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Hey, Jade. Um, they're they're all gone. Everyone's gone. Um, I don't know where they're going, but they're gone.
Oh,
We got to
you
get out of
you mean okay? When you said gone, I thought you meant they're all dead. You look terrible. Are you okay? As like there's like just there's like your carapace from your shell is actually bleeding due to the injuries you sustained. Your face is gashed and everything. You haven't taken time to address your own wounds. Okay. Are you sure you're good to travel? Don't you need to rest? You look terrible.
no time for that. I don't know where they are. Gotta no time to rest. What time of day is it? Are we dusk?
You guys left in the. Yeah, I guess it's starting to. If I recall, you probably have a couple hours of sunlight left. Maybe. Yeah, at this point.
Yeah. I get. Is it Grung?
Yeah, it's
Grung?
Grung. Yeah, as you're like, look, you're just saying that Grung, you're just not facing him, and then you just feel this slap like on one of the wounds that you have on your shell, and he's just like rubbing this paste into your wound. He's like, yeah, just shh. Can't have you bleeding out. And he just seems like he's taken some of the vegetables or some of the vegetation around here and made some sort of compress, and just like stuffing your wound with it. It stinks,
Uh,
obviously.
Thanks, friend. Maybe pull out this javelin. Get him to tie up those javelins. But actually, still stuck.
Yeah. Pulls it out, you're fine.
Okay. Can you guys stay safely here for a little longer while I see if safe places take you?
Oh, we can. Yeah, I mean, that's they're having a trouble like just kind of realizing that the people that rescue them are now gone, and then the one that's standing before them is just looks nigh close to death. Uh, yeah,
I'm fine.
yeah.
I've had worse. Don't worry about me. Back. This is the last time. I think I know where I can take you, but I got to make sure, and then I just leave.
It's like you're starting to run off. Grong like yells wait and everything, but obviously falls on deaf ears, and you're just boom. All right. Uh,
I I
where are you
want to
going?
go to Pillow Ladies. I mean, because I don't have notes.
Okay, are you?
Nina, I think.
Yeah, Nina's. Are you just? How are you getting into town? Just straight in? What's like your?
Cloak up over myself. Shuffled. I'm walking at a
Okay.
brisk but painful pace.
Okay.
That makes sense. I'm not. I'm
Yeah,
not sprinting, but I'm moving, but I look like I'm in pain.
I understand. Um, for the sake of this, since you're actually pushing yourself so hard, can you go ahead and give me a Can you go ahead and give me a Constitution check? It can. It's basically like an old school endurance check. So, go ahead and
17 plus 7.
okay.
Oh, wait, is that a save?
And not a save, just a check. So 17 plus 3, so 20. Okay. Yeah, you're able to just grit through the pain, cover up majority of your wounds. That little compress and everything that Grong had like literally stuck in a hole in your shell is actually doing its work. And yeah, you managed to briskly hobble into the Eastern Front as you're coming in, some of those you're passing up banners and standards of the various ogre tribes, and you're seeing some of the faithful and the Eastern Front, but no one really seems to be stopping you. But you are definitely at times just turning some heads as you kind of turn a quarter in a brisk rush and you bump into somebody, but you're able to get through.
Cool. Yeah. So hello, ladies, place.
Sure. You manage to like fairly well. I mean, you are proficient in survival, so +5. Say it takes you a moment. You get a little dizzy at one point, but then you gather yourself and realize some of the landmarks in this twisted, uneven city. But you do find the southern portion of the Misty Bridge quadrant, and there is that multiple like not duplex, but like complex of various smaller house-like structures just stacked next to each other on top of each other, and you think you recall where Nina's is.
Nina, it's Rock. I was here before. Hello. You're holding my prisoner. I'll say that.
Prisoner.
As you're kind of knocking, the structure is more accommodating and set up for the smaller kin. Uh, the door creaks open, and there is that same younger female halfling that I don't believe you saw before.
Did I
Looks
not
at you.
go into the pillow hut?
Oh, you did go in. You did. No. It was Davis.
I definitely went, and I think somebody
Samson?
helped me bring him in.
I think it was. I don't remember if you went inside, Rock.
Oh, maybe I didn't see. I know the name, so.
Yeah.
You'd know the place for sure. I just don't know that you've
Yeah.
seen her.
Yeah. Majority of y'all were on left, away, try not to draw suspicion of like a group getting into someone's home.
Right. Hi. Are you? I'm looking for Nina. Who are you? Hi. I'm Rock.
Nina, hi. Definitely. What can I do for you?
My friends dropped one of our friends off here. We said we'd be back, and they're all gone now. But I have more friends, but like actual friends this time that need help, and I need help getting them out.
Getting them out? What are you talking?
They're from the camps, the, the conditioning camps. They need help.
Go ahead. I'm not gonna make you roll anything. Obviously, it just takes a little bit of time. But eventually something you say kind of sets through and gets to her, and she's like, "Right, so you're with the gray-skinned orc and Samson's friends. Okay. She kind of opens the door a little bit further, looks beyond, looks around. You kind of see her surveilling around, and it says, "Come in, come in." Closes the door behind you, and it's not like you're cramped in here, but it is definitely more suited for smaller creatures. So, ceiling's kind of closed. Hallways are a little bit tight, but you're able to fit inside. So what? It's like h- how did you get people out?
Um, Lots of
That
fireballs and blood, and it didn't end well. Everyone else is gone. Don't worry, not dead. Everyone keeps looking at me funny when I say gone. Just gone, not dead. But
okay.
we have some that we helped get out, and they need somewhere to go. They're in rough shape. They need medical help. They need real food. They need out of town, or they need someplace safe to be in town. And I don't know where to
Well,
take them. I have to find
I
everyone else, and I don't
well
know anybody
I
in town except for I don't know anybody in town.
She just says, "Well, if they're out of here, then maybe I I don't know if we want to bring them back. A lot of us are stuck here because we can't get out with all the patrols and the giants, and we're just kind of like our own town is our cage now." Uh,
Think of that. Um, do you have any food and medical supplies?
uh, food, yes. Medical, I mean, yeah, we got something. However, and at that point, you kind of hear that. I used quite a lot on the guy that you brought. You guys treated
He
him
didn't.
like
He didn't need medical help. He's a jerk.
I.
We barely. We didn't. We didn't let anyone stab him. There was no stabbing. I promise you. We
Okay,
don't stab.
well, he still didn't look very good. And you do see that she's kind of walking you through. There is like a little bit of window, and some of the light is coming through, and you see some of her potted plants and also pillows just strewn about the place. But yeah, Harley is just made comfortable in one of the rooms where she's gotten a couple of her, like a couch and another chair up, and he's kind of propped up and he's kind of covered, and you see some of his wounds are kind of taken care of as best as you could, and you see that like his ears are not as gross as they were when you left her there. Uh, but yeah, she I guess yeah, she gives you some linens and then just some plants that are available that that if you look over, that they're used for caring of wounds. She offers you some of the food. There's a collection of different like fruits and there's even some sun-dried fish, whatever you want.
Take everything she offers. And say, can you get in touch with uh name slipping Samson? Was it Samson that was with us?
Samson is
Cousin.
her cousin.
Yeah, can you get in touch with Samson and have him take Harley away from him? I can't deal with him. He's he's no longer a problem. Let them take him somewhere safe and watch over him. I have others that need me. Um, if any of my party should you saw before, you're the gray guy and whoever else was you. Um, just let them know that I'm with Jade, getting into safety. And I'll be back.
What are Is that it? What are you gonna do?
No, no, we'll wing it.
Mm.
They're out. They're not. I'm not letting them get put back. Um, so we're gonna leave town.
Um, well,
That's,
if it means anything, my brother did say, or cousin, Samson did say, avoid the east as much as you can. There's a lot of eyes out there.
yeah, we'll be going south and then west and then far west. But yes, thank you for the supplies. And there's a lot of pillows in here.
She kind of shows. Yeah, I like to collect pillows.
If I ever see you again, I'll bring you a pillow for your troubles. I know it's silly, but um, thank you.
Yeah. And as you're starting to head out, you do see like in one of the other little rooms where there's like it's like another seated portion. There's like a little pillow fort set up. kind of randomly, but yeah. And you're able to head out. Okay, so you got some information. Talk to Nina. Where are you planning on going now, Rook?
A little bit of food and medicine I have. I'm assuming maybe some water too.
Are you gonna spend hit die? Because you basically get a short rest while you're at Nina's.
I don't have any hit die left.
Oh
No?
shit.
Oh
I have
damn.
no hit die left. I have one spell left.
Oh wow.
So I will say
Yeah.
since I forgot to hand out hit die on the respite, I probably would have given him some, but I don't know
I
if you
did
want to
not
retcon that.
take part of in your respite.
He wasn't part of
Oh,
your
that's
respite.
right.
Yeah, he was.
Never mind.
Okay. All right, Rock. This.
I will use my one remaining spell to heal myself.
You sure? Okay. I don't want to force you to do anything, but gotcha.
Nope,
So what are
but
you?
Cure wounds level 1. 6 plus
Okay. That's d6, 2d6 plus 1, maybe.
Ooh, 9. I'll take 9. 9 helps.
Not bad.
9?
Yeah. Okay.
9. That would have been the max you could have possibly rolled if this was a standard cure wounds. Cool. Good job, Materia, making things better. Open it with Rock. All right, Rock. You know, the whole thing running back and forth and all that, it's starting to get dark at this point. And maybe that's going to be beneficial to some of your travels at night as you slip out of Nina's, halfling complex, let's call it.
Yeah, I don't want to bring attention on follow me. So I'm just gonna shuffle along this.
Okay. If you're really trying not to give attention, are you trying to like sneak around or just trying to blend in?
Just blending in. Just blending.
Okay. All right, gotcha.
Just
So yeah,
another beat up pheasant.
yep. A little bit more refreshed, putting up your brown cloak and everything. Rock, you are free to traverse. You're getting close to you're at the if you were to look at a map, you're at the northern I said the southernmost point that is north of Green Hill, if that makes sense. Like there's a North District, which is Misty Bridge, and you're like right at the bottom of it. Kind of centralized. So most of your interactions have been to the western side. The Adventurers League is close to the smack dab center, but you know that that's crawling, or being patrolled, I should say, with ogres and giants and stuff. So, where would you like to go? Or what would you like to do?
Heading back to Jade.
Heading back to Jade. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Roll me a d20.
That's not great. 5.
Okay. Yeah, it's not great because I rolled a 2 as well. All right. So as you start heading back into the eastern side, you get this strange feeling that there are eyes upon you. You try to, maybe divert your route a few times, but you're not too familiar with Green Hill itself, so you're just kind of hoping that cutting this alley, then cutting again, will allow you to loop back to your general path of the, sense of direction. However, at one point, as you are turning, you look over your shoulder and you see, just happen to glance, some individual in the darkness, kind of about 60-ish feet away from you, and you go and you turn down another alley. Anything you'd like to try to do, or?
Are there any barrels or crates or anything in the alley?
Yeah, why not? Sure, it's Green Hill.
Okay. If as soon as I feel I've broken, go near where there's a crate or a barrel. Turn myself into a crate.
Okay, so minor illusion. Okay, go ahead and give me a stealth check. At advantage, but you can, since you're relying on your magic, you can go ahead and use your intelligence instead of dex. So I think for you it'd be a +4 because of your intelligence. Yeah. So d20 plus 4. 20. Okay. Nice. Yeah. It takes you comfortably get over to the side. At one point, you just kind of leap to make more of a distance. Find yourself some loose barrels or in crates, and you just kind of illusion, kind of tuck into your shell a little bit and wait. And you do see an individual that you would kind of fits the bill of someone that would work for a thieves guild or something like that. That so stop right in front of you, look around. Alrighty. Starts moving at a faster pace away from you, turning down an alley.
Do they have the same colors or cloaks of?
General dark leathers, kind of hard to tell. No, I would say your passive perception wasn't really high to pick out anything. Unless you really want to take a moment to perceive, you can.
Yeah, because I wouldn't mind making contact with them if it's them.
Okay.
But I want to be careful. So yeah, I would try and see if it's someone worth saying hi to.
Okay. Go ahead and see if you ascertain anything that might stand out. Make you know that it's one of Isos's friends.
The 6, 11 total.
11. Dark leathers, man. Hard to tell. They stopped for a moment, looked. It's not a face you recognize. And they ran off, seemingly a little bit frustrated that they lost you.
I will stay in cover for 10 minutes.
Okay.
And then continue on to Jade.
Okay. So as you are doing this again, can you roll me another 20? Just let me know what you rolled flat.
16.
16. Made up for what I rolled. So as you are starting to traverse and go through, you start passing up a couple of those shrines, those boulders with the different ropes and baskets of offerings and those glyphs. You keep going, and you get towards. You think you're going the right direction, and then you end up in a dead end area, and you're like, crap. And you look around, and you start turning back, and as you're going back down the street, back to where you think you need to go to make, connection with the right direction to get back out of Green Hill, you just hear a, "Oi! You are difficult to find. You're gonna have to come with us."
Hi,
And as you
friend.
as you say that and you look, there's a couple other people on the roof. A couple other people come around the corner from like where you didn't see them in the alley, and there's about 5 or 6. Similarly, on the roof, they seem to be more your leather bound looking thieves that you would think are like rogues and stuff like that. But the individual that's talking to you is dressed in just those brown garbs, has a collar of beads and flowers, and you can kind of barely see the glint of something, being hidden in one of his longer sleeves.
When you said dead end, then how tall is the dead end?
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. If I roll low, it's low. If I roll high, it's high. Let's just do it that way so it's easy. Unfortunately, I rolled a 17. So looking at it, it looks like it's like you ran into like the side of a building. 20, 15, 20. It's kind of hard to tell. Like you're looking at it real quick and kind of judging it.
What about the houses on each side? Are they?
It's almost like the same. Yeah, they're not really houses at this point in this section, unfortunately. Sorry. I know what you're trying to do, but I rolled for it.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Okay.
Does anyone ever know what Rock's trying to do?
Oh, I've run Rock a few times. I know what crazy does, right? But as you're kind of stumbling over your words, and he's like, "You've really upset the mother. You're going to have to come with us."
Oh, hey, are you gonna take me to my friends?
Sure.
Okay, let's go. I just start walking forward, just happily.
All right. Go ahead and give me a perception check while you're walking jovially and happily.
16.
16? Okay.
21.
21. Yeah, so you do definitely see that the ones on the roof definitely had hand crossbows kind of at the ready, getting closer to this guy. You see him as he's trying to like hide what he definitely had like a blade hidden ready in case they needed to stop you. And as you walk forward, uh, getting like I guess up to the shoulder with the guy, you hear 21. You hear this like little sound, and then you look up and you see one of the guys on the roof just start tumbling down, fall, and then
Am
you look. Mhm.
I close enough to swing my staff at the face of the guy who's pulling?
Sure, go ahead at advantage because he has no idea that this is coming.
Nat 20.
Bow, bow,
Damn it.
bow.
All right, so I mean, oh god, I think you just like break his skull and everything. You're doing it with two hands, right?
Yep.
So go ahead and roll a go ahead and roll a d8 and then add 9 to it. Because you just crit him.
That's a 6. Plus, you said plus 9? Where'd the 9 come
Yeah,
from?
it's 8
15.
plus 1.
Yeah, because your strength is 1. You attack with your strength, so it's plus 1 plus a crit is maximum, so 8 plus 1 is 9 plus what you rolled, so 15. Yeah, like out of nowhere, when he's like distracted looking up and he's starting to draw his blade again, you just rush up to him. The frog meets forehead, crack, and as you're pulling back, there's like this sticky moment, like, and his head is just split open. He's like, oh, and falls back. And then you look, and then you see a couple more arrows and bolts being fired from off the distance as the other guy on the roof tumbles. And then as one guy is starting to like reach over and grabs you on the shoulder, you hear a familiar voice, and then you hear this wet gurgling sound from the person behind you, and you look, and there's their familiar dragonborn friend.
God, somebody I know. Thanks for that. That was nice. I didn't want to go with them. Uh, how long have you? Did you talk to? God damn it! I wrote her name down and everything.
Mina.
Nina?
Have you talked to Nina recently? Or
No.
everyone's
Samson
gone?
filled us in. Uh, what do you? No, what do you mean everyone's gone?
Poof, just gone. Just there. Rocks went in the air, and then there was vibrations, and then just gone. Everyone's just gone.
Oh
I
boy.
we ruined the camps, but there's a lot of dead people and a lot of dead ogres, but a lot of dead people. But we saved some people, and I need to get to them because they're hurt and they're sick and they've been through a lot. And I promised them I'd get back to them. And can you take me to? Can I take you to them? Do we
I
take
mean,
in
you,
refugees?
Rock, you realize we told you guys to avoid the eat. Sure, we're here. We're in it this far. Travel like we travel, please. There are a lot of the bitches' eyes out here, keeping an eye out for, well, troublemakers like myself and now like you. So, quiet.
Yeah, I
All
okay.
right,
I will stealthily try to lead them to Jade.
that's fine. Yeah, and you're joined with Isos. Samson is there, and he's like smiling, and he's like, "Adventurers really they don't listen, boss. They just." Anyways, and there's a couple other individuals, kind of generic. Use your imagination. There's about 5 other individuals traveling with Isos and Samson in total, and you guys are able to kind of slink your way through, getting by some of the ogre encampment on the east. And as you're leaving Green Hill and heading, Isos and them are with you, and eventually you get back to that tree oasis. However, it's proper nighttime now. So
As I approach, I'll call out quietly, Jade, it's me again. Friends, we're friends. You guys there?
some of them start to, Jade kind of pokes out, looking, sees you, but with a group, and
They're friends. They're friends. They're
more
new
friends. Okay.
This is yes.
Okay. And you see some of them they start kind of peeking out, looking, and of course there's same group of people that you saw. Grung kind of stands up and says, "Well, shit. It isn't Essos the fleet. Good to see you."
Oh, thank God. We're all friends here, right? Everyone's friends. And then I hand Jade everything that Nina gave me, and I just collapse.
Okay. Last thing you kind of hear is the muffled sounds of people saying, "Whoa," and you're out cold from your rough adventure. There you go. Okay. So we'll say you're out. And then we're going to take this quick opportunity. Broom. Jumping over back to our little mystery cavern.
So it was Grung that said, "Well, shit, if it isn't Essos the fleet," right?
Yep.
Okay, just making sure.
Yep. All right. So, I think everybody's still here. I heard like a couple Discord puddings.
Like,
Yeah, Angie joined for a bit. And
Oh,
Damn it.
I briefly
That's the thing.
lost power.
oh wow. I don't hear those because I'm in the streamer
Oh.
mode, so I'm never aware.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, the rest of the menagerie, Sej, the Untouched, and Karos, the Tracker. As this fuming spirit conjured from the Feywild vanishes with a and the mangled corpse of the beast is before you, and you've started to pull some of the plating off, and Karos, as you're like digging in there with Marb's help, and you retrieve this stone-like organ that seems to be of crystal that's pulsing. What are you guys doing? Oh, I do have to remember, Marb, as you see, like as you're kind of all doing this, Marb reaches in one of his little, satchels and pulls out this little manuscript that he has and just starts taking notes in his little manual of beasts and herbs of this thing that y'all had encountered, adding it to his collection.
I will not necessarily, like, I know, so we see a big giant crystal over here, right?
Well, I would imagine so. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pulsing, and there's like sparks and electric discharges essentially going.
Yeah, I'll give it a wide berth, but I also want to check and just kind of look a little deeper in the cavern, or that cavern,
Sure.
the cave, and see if I see
Before
anything
people
threatening.
get too far, though, I'm gonna, after they're like harvesting it, I'm gonna exclaim to everybody, huddle close. Something to treat us before we
Oh man.
go on.
Okay, so you're gonna cast a Materia Prayer of Healing.
Yes, I'm gonna upcast it. Actually, I'm gonna roll it in just 1 second.
Nice. I think Grant had done
maybe-
this in the past for us before, right? So we'd kind of recognize it.
Yes, it's maybe the motions are different and more esoteric and
True.
different, but there is some sort of familiarity with this long form of prayer and chanting that is building up this reservoir of restorative energies. Because hey, Materia version, you actually get to create a pool of healing and distribute it as you feel fit.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like a healing well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use my bonus action, recover 1 psionic die.
Go for it. And that's it for the day, right? It's once per long rest you can do that?
Once
Or is it-
per short rest.
Nice. Okay, cool.
So that brings me back up to 6. 6.
Okay. You guys have not had the opportunity to take a short rest at this point because y'all are still harvesting and, pulling and just taking in your. It's been about, let's say, 15 minutes since this entity was slaughtered.
Slain.
Yeah.
Gonna take some
Alright.
dust and write a sigil on the ground, sit on it, and meditate for like just a minute, I think it says. And
10. Okay.
cast 3rd level, and we have. Wow, that.
So 14d6 worth of healing.
Yes, I got 30 hit points to dole out.
Okay.
I think all of that might go to our
Karos.
friend, actually.
Yeah, probably. I'm generally okay.
Whoever's lowest, which is probably our Leonid friend, just honestly take all of it.
I mean, so I would say little meta because you'd have time throughout this, so you would see that, and I believe everyone's is up to date. Davis and Karos both look relatively beaten. Karos a little worse.
Yeah, I'm over half though. So.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I'm just
Okay,
visually
so-
Yeah.
looking
Oh
at it.
yeah, like I'm hurt, but I'm like, I'm okay.
Yeah. Dragnar's
Alright,
fine.
so here's how I'm gonna roleplay it too. Make it easier to do this anyway, even for
Yeah.
future's sake. As I'm meditating, in front of me, there's gonna be like a ball of liquid sunlight, but it's dull. But it's like
Okay.
a floating ball, liquid ball of highlighter fluid or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
But you could probably sense that it's healing, like a healing elixir.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna mutter under my voice and be like, if you need it, drink up.
Gotcha. So yeah, again, feel free. So I don't know if you want to give like 20, 25 to Karos, rest to Davis, all to Karos. Like you said, you rolled your numbers. You decide.
I'm leaving it up to them at this point. So yes.
Okay.
I don't know, man. You look pretty hurt. I'm okay. I can take a lot of punishment. You look like you've had a real hard time.
All right, Karos, you take all the healing then.
All of it?
Oh
Yeah,
I
you look
probably-
like you need it.
Who was the other person that got hit pretty bad? Because I know me and Dragnar were up there, but
Right.
not everybody.
And throughout this conversation, Karos, as you're kind of like looking at it, and you just see Dragnar's just been like cracking his neck and stretching his arms out, and he just seems to be just fine. I'm gonna heal him to full with 2 dodge actions.
Okay.
That's all that he needs, and he's back to full health.
Like, you can just dodge action, like, not in combat.
Yeah, it's an action.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, so like essentially for him, he just kind of like rather than dodging, he's just like kind of stretching out his muscles and kind of just cracking his neck a bit, and you see working out his shoulder, and he just seems back to normal, catching his wind.
Yeah, that's badass.
Yeah.
Karos will tentatively take the thing and just eyeball everybody again, like holding it up, like you sure? And
Oh yeah, no, I can. I mean, I've taken a lot of hits, but I know how to take them. So, but you look
With
like
my
you
eyes
look like
still
you got
closed,
beat
I'm
the
just
shit
gonna
up.
nod towards him.
Okay.
I'm unscathed.
good to hear.
That's the way it's supposed to work. That's for us to do, to get up there.
Alright. I'll kind of drink it and like
Yeah.
kind of like do that like roll your shoulder thing where you're surprised you're not more sore than you were, and check the bite wounds and stuff. And
They seem to be,
He'll,
yeah, that
he'll look-
same dull glow as it's entering you, and yeah, you see the wounds and you're kind of checking them, and that kind of starts to, where there are the gashes and the open wounds, they start to light up before they start to stitch. I think you're
Yeah.
feeling pretty good now, right?
yeah, pretty darn good. Kind of after that, he'll look back to Sedge and kind of remember back when they first met and try to like do maybe not as deep as he did, but like try to replicate the bow. Like, many thanks, friend.
Thank the sun. I'm gonna do a hand gesture and then touch myself with my own cure wounds.
Okay.
I'm gonna heal myself.
All right, mark off your spell slots, heal yourselves up. Yeah. So I'm trying to remember. So we have plates of this beast that have been kind of taken off, not
200
yet put.
pounds.
Yeah, 200 pounds, which at this point are still, not in the bag of holding yet. They're just like on the side. Karos, you do have the glowing. I don't even remember what I called it, like the primal core of this beast, Psi
Yeah.
core or whatever.
How big was it again?
It's like a big old grapefruit.
Oh, okay. Hey, palmable.
Yeah, it's like a nice big old ruby red grapefruit.
Ching,
Like,
ching, ching.
but yeah, nothing really left to harvest off this beast. You had attempted at tongue, however, you just cut off and you realize that it's like just sticky and barby and not much really left to this entity.
Gross meat.
Yeah. So,
Once it looks like the party's getting close to done carving, once it's starting to look
mhm.
kind of bare, I'm definitely gonna prestidigitate, clean them, offer with
Okay,
I would offer with Marb.
gotcha.
A cleaning good
Yes.
have my
Yes.
little smile.
All right, I'm just clearing up the little markers on everybody, short of. I know Dreadnought remain. Yeah, it's still been.
Because it's
Still
passed
got some
without
pass without a
trace.
trace on.
Yeah.
It's still going. Yeah. Karos. You did take spell healing, Karos. So if you want to, you can roll the D8 for the inspiration die. Because I
Oh.
think, right, Al, it does increase healing now, right? With the Tasha's changes.
Everybody
Oh,
gets
yeah.
everything. I just can't use it on myself.
Yeah. So you can go ahead and roll that D8 and just add it to it.
7.
Nice.
Bad.
Whoa.
Nice.
Hey,
Little burst.
where is hit die on D&D Beyond?
It's under short rest. You have to take short rest, but that'll obviously reset. If you click it to make it apply, it'll obviously you'll take a short rest. So anything that resets on a short rest, you'll have to unset.
Got you. Okay.
Because traditionally, I
so-
think mechanically the only time you can ever use hit die is during a short rest in D&D. But since we have stuff
Yeah.
to use it
There's a-
otherwise, it's a bit weird.
There's a dwarf thing, a dwarf feat that I think
Yeah, that's
lets
what-
you do it.
Oh yeah, his dodge
Yeah,
thing.
that's what his dodge thing is. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
So he had that dwarven fortitude. So basically, what I would do, if it helps, I don't know, like, so you don't have to go back and uncheck everything. Maybe just jot it down on like a piece of paper or in your notes. Be like 1, 2, 3 hit dice used. That's kind of what I have with Dragonar right now. I put 1 barbarian, 1 monk die used, so I don't forget.
For me, I just do it because I only have like one thing that resets on a short rest. So
Yeah.
I have
I just like to
literally
check.
nothing that resets on short rest. Everything is virtually long rest. So I'm gonna
Your
Channel divinities.
channel divinities reset on a short
Oh, they
rest.
did? Yeah, okay.
do they?
Yes, that's why they're not bad to spam. That's why your Radiance of Dawn is really good, because it's a blast that resets on a short rest that isn't a spell, so you can use a bonus action spell after
Unless
you
you're
use
blinded.
it.
I mean,
No,
oh,
no.
I-
No, that's your warding flare. Your
I'm like in one ear out the other. Sorry. And math at the same time.
no, you're good, you're good. The warding flare, your reaction to protect people, that requires them to be able to see that little blast. I'm pretty sure your Radiance of Dawn doesn't matter because it's just a
Harness
blast of
divine
light.
power for channel divinity is long rest.
Yes, but your channel divinities themselves, they reset on a short rest.
Okay.
Just letting you know. Okay. So as you guys are resting a little bit, like kind of recuperating quickly, still in this alien-like cavern with electric discharges illuminating, there is that foreboding large crystalline structure with different glyphs and circles seemingly around them made up of different patterns and symbology. What are you guys doing?
Try to get close enough to like look at it just to see if it looks like super, what do you call it? Super clean, like it was made with tools, like by how you would
Like carved
anticipate
or-
like a person or a humanoid creature to do it, or if it looks like
Yeah. I get what you're
Natural.
saying.
Beast did it, dragging its claws through it or something.
Okay. I would say, yeah, so as you kind of approach it, you can feel free to move your guys' selves around. I'll go around the cavern. Go ahead and give me an investigation check as you're trying to ascertain this thing.
While he does that, how far, like, I assume, like, more cavern, there's more cavern to, like, the south, or I keep saying cavern, cave to, like, the south.
This seems to just be right here, just
so
cut
this is a
off.
wall?
You are, yeah, there's a
Oh,
wall,
okay,
and
I
it
wasn't
goes
sure.
up, and it domes over into that like 15 or so foot.
Oh, okay.
This is actually like a little dead end.
Yeah, I may actually just go check out the other areas that we hadn't, like, walked through yet, just to see, make sure there's no more threats.
Go for
So
it.
yeah, I'm gonna do that. Well, not through the
Right.
lightning.
15 plus 8, 23.
23. This it looks just like a standard crystalline structure. You've seen, how like salt crystals develop and maybe sugar crystals and all that. It doesn't really look like the the touch of man or mankind has been upon this crystal. They're just
I meant the
growing.
glyphs. The glyphs.
Oh, the glyphs. Sorry, the glyphs. Um,
But thanks for that extra piece.
Sorry, I was thinking that.
Bonus.
The glyphs are amongst the floor. However, as you approach them, you do see that there are rotating arcane glyphs like in the air around the crystal as well. Of a language you do not know. And then you get super close to it, they seem to respond to your approach, and they seem to like brighten just a little bit more. Not necessarily in a way that they're like you hear like a buzzing or anything. Like it's not like it just seem to react to the presence of somebody. Yeah, there are. I guess you make out that there's multiple sets with that high enough of investigation. I don't know if you necessarily ascertain what they mean.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just kind of let everybody know that is it just like the floating set seems like it reacted as I got closer, or did they all sort of react as I got closer?
All of it essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll kind of take some steps back and take like just a rock and kind of like throw it in that general direction.
Sure. As you do, makes it through. And it gets kind of lost in not too lost because it is like illuminated back here, but it just kind of makes it through.
Yeah.
Makes it through the section, lifts the crystal, all that.
I'll kind of let everybody know that it seems to be reacting to the presence of living creatures, but it's not like a force field or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Davis, while you're walking around, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Sure. 16. Or wait, no, I'm 17 now.
17. Perfect. While Davis is kind of walking around, and he kind of passes up Sej, and then Davis also, you guys kind of just checking in on each other, just keeping a visual on each other. You both hear this little ding, 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 ding. And as you look, there seems to be, let's see what it came out.
Oh, here I was about to say, I don't think there's anything else in here.
Yeah. Like close to Sej, maybe about 10 feet away from him, you see the glint and the reflection of a really well-cut diamond.
Cool. I'll start digging at it. Yeah.
Able to pick it up, no problem. It's a nice, really big, well-cut diamond.
Out of character, I know what this is for, but I'm keeping it.
Okay.
Al sees and gives Davis a thumbs up. Like, oh,
Yeah,
good find,
nice.
good find.
Yeah.
Fancy.
Okay.
Into my pack. So what should I put in?
gem, diamond, well cut.
Okay.
I mean, you don't know the value of it,
Right.
but
Okay, that's what I'll put.
okay. All right. So Dragnar will kind of approach the thing and say, "Didn't they want us to? Are we gonna do what they wanted us to do? Are we even able to? Oh, sorry, break this thing?
Is that what they wanted us to do? I thought it was just take care of the beast thing, wasn't it?
But isn't the beast the thing that made the thing? Am I wrong? I'm so confused.
Or
I
did
just want
this
to hurt
thing make the
Hags.
beast? Because this thing, like the beast, was like made by something, right? They said it was like put together somehow.
Maybe this thing made the beast.
I think he's got a point. What we took down, I felt the hags wouldn't have that much trouble with it, right? Are they just are they using us? Is it really that
Well,
powerful?
they said every time that they tried to take care of it, it fled and they couldn't track it down. That was the purpose of the device, to find it. Or at least as I understood it.
Yeah, as Dragnar does approach it, it does, not building or anything. It gets up to a point and just
So like pulses or something when it gets near.
slightly, like it's not like
Gotcha.
it gets it amplifies its glow and then just kind of sits
It's just
around the
clearly
certain
reacting.
amplification. Yeah.
Dragnar. Better safe than sorry, right? I'm gonna strum on a couple chords and try and give him inspiration. Oh, yeah, I don't have inspiration yet. I'll
Okay.
strum on, and I'll repeat myself. Better safe than sorry.
Gotcha.
That's never been our motto, Al.
Absolutely not.
All right. Any guys doing anything right now?
Yeah, I took a look around. I didn't see anything else in here. So whatever this is, we've got. I will say so. Time is kind of one of our best allies right now, right? Like the hags don't know how long it's gonna take for us to find this thing, how long it's gonna take to take care of it, and how long we need to like recover afterwards to get back. So we probably have at least a day or whatever that is in this space. Like time always seems to be the same when I'm here, so I think it's the same on the other side. But we shouldn't, be in any rush to get back. We should definitely figure out a plan. Like I think the last thing we want to do is just go back and be like, hey, we're done. What else do you want us to do? Because then we're only as long as we have some use for them, like that's our ticket to staying alive and staying free, if you want to call it that.
Dragnar will say, not the worst place to camp out,
Yeah,
right?
these like little sparky things that keep coming off of this coral stuff kind of spooks me out. Like maybe outside of here, but I guess it's at least defended somewhat, and there's some spots where there's no real coral nearby, so maybe.
DM, how far from the camp was the drop in the ravine?
From the boulder fields?
Yeah, from the boulder fields to.
Well, a bit of a trek. Like it was if it was like 1-to-1 with Green Hill proper map, y'all essentially left the southeastern portion of Green Hill where it is the boulder fields, and the device took you basically north up to the River Sly, which cuts through the center, and you trekked along it where it was a chasm in this heading down. You're probably somewhere. Go ahead and give me a survival check if you really want to have an idea, possibly, of where you're at. 14. You're somewhere eastern side of Green Hill. Like it's hard for you to tell. Not exact. You're pretty sure you're in the river if you were on the material, but other than that, you're not sure.
Okay.
And it took you a few, following the device. The device, Carlos seemed to plug into the device fairly quickly, but it still took some time, and navigation was slow, being cautious and all that. So hard to judge how long of an actual walk it would have been.
And kind of directed towards Davis and Dragnar, I'll say, I'm not sure if it's safer down here with whatever the hell lives here, or safer top of the ravine. I don't know how far the hags would travel, but it's an option, I guess.
Yeah, and actually, it might be good to be in here because, like, if the hags come looking for us, they may, avoid this place thinking that's where the bad guy, hangs out, and they had troubles with them. So there's that.
Yeah,
Mark
as far as I
will,
could tell, they seem scared of this place. You can have some trouble with it.
Mark will say, I think they don't even know about this place.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
like Whiskers over here said, uh, they needed him to find it. Can you put up one of those domes? Hmm. Al? Make it safe? From the
And dude,
spooky lightning?
we definitely need it for this place. Um, Al has all of his spell slots, so he's just gonna go for it. Yeah, he's level 3. Haste. Yeah, he'll just cast it normally.
As it normally. Where you want to put it?
I will definitely talk to the party before placing it. I'll just point to the ground like, hey, Davis, Marb, Dragnar, here. How's that look?
Yeah, probably within view of the crystal at least, just to, you
Sure the beast isn't going anywhere.
no, that thing's not going anywhere.
Beast begins to twitch and move. No.
Oh my god.
I spoke too soon!
And then tentacles erupt from the ground.
Not again.
I mean, there will always be tentacles at some
We
point.
never burned it. We should have burned it.
Yeah.
Fire is always the answer.
Oh wait,
We
shit.
ripped.
Just
hard out.
because, I don't know if Marb necessarily would do this, but I'm curious mechanically. Like, me as a player, I'm curious how this do this. And since it seems like we're going to rest, Marb is going to cast See Invisibility.
Oh sure.
Now,
Um,
and then my, as a player question is, normally it allows you to see into the ethereal plane. What about when you're on
Yeah.
the ethereal plane, do you see into the material plane?
I don't believe that's the way it's
I
intended to
don't
work.
think it's the way it is either, but I just had to
Worth
check.
a
Yeah.
shot. Marb would
Yeah,
check.
so Marb would check, try to, you know,
Do I see fishes
finagle
and
it.
stuff?
I will say this: with it, he's able to see a little bit more, right? Like when you're Davis, you've experienced it when you've shunted over. You're able to kind of see echoes and like silhouettes of people and things on the other side. When he does do see invisibility, let me mark off a spell slot real quick. He does see the other side, put like a little bit more echoey on, and where you guys are. Like as he's looking around, it doesn't seem there's actually an equivalent match on the material because nothing is really starting to stand out to him. Just for flavor, I'll give you a little of that. Like Marb will start kind of going off and scouting, and he does go back to the crevasse, and he starts to look up, and then about 100 feet or so, it's hard to judge in this instance. He does start to see like the little shadows of fish and stuff well above you guys. I'll give you that. So he learns that y'all are in a place that isn't echoed on the material.
Yeah, so he'll share that with the group. He's like, yeah, guys, I don't think this place exists on that other plane, so we better make sure we don't try and, like, Davis, make sure you don't try and, like, shift over there. Like, alright, man. Although I am really curious as to what'll happen, Marb, so I'll have to try my best.
I think if there's no... Okay, I know what happens if there's no place. Okay,
I do
yeah,
too.
you're
I
good.
think I do, at least.
Yeah. You get shunted.
Yeah, you probably take damage.
Yes. So, the dome appears, Al, anything specific? Because you do have control over, visual of it, being able to see in and out of it. Just trying to get it to blend in. What's your plan?
I think it's also the first time Karos has seen it.
Yes.
So most of Al's magic, there'll be kind of there's a second of like a flame, and then it kind of materializes into whatever he's trying to create or make an illusion of. In this case, it's a dome. It looked kind of clay at first, and then as it cools or it gives it like a couple of seconds, it tries to camouflage with the surrounding area. A little bit of coral, a little misshapen. It's still almost a perfect dome, but it's just got a couple of irregularities to help out.
Yep.
Try when you can.
Okay.
And Al is in the center of it as it separates. It's this tiny hut for you to know.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
And Al will look at Karos and say, "I'm stuck here now," and just lay down.
It's like I don't know why. I always imagine you just kind of lay down, get your like lute, and just start strumming away as you're just bored.
I imagine he's like palm on the outside of it, just like, help, I want out.
I gotta use the bathroom.
Yeah. All right. So with that, we'll say the corpse of the beast remains motionless. Its thick blood eventually kind of congealing, not spreading out anymore. The plates that you have harvested are off to the side. And y'all are able to, enter the tiny hut as you see fit. The cavern is yours. But eventually, I guess if rest is something you plan on doing, we're going to go ahead and jump over back to rock.
Real quick, I will do
Yeah.
a quick respite to allow us.
Oh, you
to
still have
a-
that? That's great.
Yes, I do. Well, because we were rested, or we had a long rest. Yeah, so
Gotcha.
to allow people to take a short rest. I mean, we hadn't taken one yet, right?
Yeah, so we'll say, yeah. So you guys are able to take a short rest with the respite. You're able to use hit die to heal.
And
that-
I get some hit die
Per-
back.
Per usual, when I can tell that Davis is doing a respite, I like to throw in a song of healing as well.
Oh,
Okay.
right.
Absolutely.
So if you want to roll that.
What's the respite?
Yeah, here, I'll paste it in the thing.
Yeah.
But basically the idea is that, so normal short rests take an hour. Other warlords have a feature that basically anybody close by I can basically, it's kind of almost like inspiring leader type thing. The way I think about it is you kind of like giving a pump up speech and like getting everybody like ready to go, and it allows people to essentially take a short rest. But cool features are anybody who has a level of exhaustion, or anybody who has any exhaustion can reduce it by 1 level. It basically gives me a pool of hit dice to dole out to the group as they need it. Sorry, Rock, I know you're not here. And that's it for now. And then obviously, since it's a short rest, you can, use your hit dice to heal. You can use the hit dice that you get back from my respite to heal.
It's a short rest in 10 minutes, basically.
That's
what
the
it
biggest
is.
thing. But now I get 8 hit dice back since my proficiency bonus has gone up, so I can give up. I will need some of them. Is anybody super low on hit dice?
Ragnar's good.
I don't know.
I'm good.
Is Barb? I haven't been tracking his hit dice actually.
Marb is full
He-
hit die. He
he-
wasn't even touched.
Oh yeah.
Me and him were untouched.
So I might just
We saw the song
take
and we're
them
like, no, I'm good.
all. Oh no, I don't actually need them all. Actually, let me see. I have used 6, so I have 2 more left over if people want to use them.
If
Whoever
you use
needs.
any hit die, you get plus 1d8 for free.
Oh right, so I guess I will use one during it just to get the. I mean, we're probably gonna take a long rest, so this may not matter, but just in case.
So,
DM, do I roll that? I keep forgetting.
yes, you roll the d8.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
'cause it's
And then
a D8.
everybody, anyone that heals at all, will get that, what you roll.
And
Okay.
I'll do one then just to
Okay.
try.
And then you can just have that one back. I'll give you a hit die
Yeah.
because I will have
Alright.
7 left that I can use them all myself.
We got a 3 plus the 5
I rolled
from
an
the
8.
song rest.
I got a
8
7. I just
total.
put it in chat.
Gotcha. So yeah, basically, I guess Kyle, to keep you up with mechanics. Essentially, the design of Warlord is they allow you to use your hit die to heal while in combat. So you lose that resource. Thus, the respite allows you to get some of them back, essentially.
Gotcha.
That's the full flavor of that text for it.
There we go. Yeah. And the reason, like, so like a the heal that a warlord does is fairly strong because it's basically you're double dipping on die. He uses the dice, and then you can use one of your hit die, but it's because it's tapping into two players' resources. It's one of his dice plus one of your dice, so it's kind of justified in that respect.
Gotcha.
It actually used to be stupidly stronger. Like you actually
Yeah.
used to be. It wasn't even just allow your constitution. There was something else that we did
Well, it
too.
was you only had to
Oh,
do
use.
one die,
That's right.
and then
That's
you can
right.
use as many as up to your charisma. But now it's a 1-to-1 match up to your
Right.
charisma.
Yeah. So you used to be able to
So
add your con bonus when you healed with my
yeah,
other heal, not this heal, the moment of courage heal, and it was insane.
yeah.
It's still very
Like
good.
Davis's strategy used to be go in there, get
Die.
knocked down to like 1 hit point, and then heal himself up to almost full
Basically
again. We're like,
full.
okay, this is a mistake. Not
We
intended.
overtuned it.
Yeah. You never know when you make something up.
Oh,
Okay, so I will say if there's nothing right now in the ethereal, y'all are able to rest, relax. Marbs eventually see invisibility fades. The moats are still floating around in the air. The cavern is fairly quiet, short of the
Actually,
discharges.
real quick, another thing
Mhm.
is also everybody has temporary HP because of my command style. It is
Oh,
because it's feed the pack, so it's
gotcha.
half my warlord level plus my charisma mod, so everybody has 7 temp HP, just like when we came in.
Okay, except for Rock because you're not.
Alright, well, everybody who's here, yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'll add it to Dragnar and I'll add it to Marb.
So everybody give yourself 7 temporary HP.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, one last question. Were you able
Yeah.
to give out that last merit die? That last hit die?
Oh, do you need one? Because I can keep, because I'll get it back on a long rest, but if you want to have it, go for it.
If nobody else can take it, I'm missing one.
Oh, I'm missing one too, so I'm keeping it.
You take it.
Mhm.
You're the tank man.
Yeah,
Alright.
exactly.
I think like 1 hit dice or 1 HP.
Hit dice.
Hit die.
I want it for 1 HP.
Give that 1 HP, man. I
I'm
need it.
pulling it. Give it to me. All right. Let's go ahead. For the time being, let's switch back to Rock. Rock. Let's see. So
Hello.
I would say you pass the hell out, right? Esos is with you. Grung is there. I guess I should ask, what was because we are kind of doing this as like your pick your adventure. Did you expect them to move you back anywhere, or are you expecting to wake up back in the little tree oasis outside of town?
I wasn't expecting to pass out, but exhaustion and all that makes sense. Um,
You were running around a lot.
yeah. So didn't really have a plan. Kind of was like, I got people who can help the people who need help together. They'll figure it.
Okay. The nice thing is, because the nice thing and the not nice thing. Nice thing is, we'll say you get a long rest. The not nice thing is don't mark it yet because you didn't expend like a healer's kit to kind of patch up your wounds before you passed out. You don't heal to full, so you get all the benefits of your long rest minus the full heal. So just do the long rest thing and then knock yourself back down to your HP. Then you're able to spend your hit die as you see fit to boost your HP if that's what you want to do. We do play with a little bit harder survival mode.
Yeah. So back down to.
And you are level 9 now officially.
Woohoo! We did it.
Yeah,
Tired.
but your HP, which is so funny because your HP didn't change.
It did not.
You took away tough and then you just did another bullet point. And now it's like the same HP. I enjoy that. So yeah, you should be at 27, right?
30,
When you wake up.
6, because I had
Okay.
a 9.
All right. So as you wake up, because you weren't expecting anything, honestly, if you're not expecting anything, I would say that throughout the evening, when you wake up at some point in the day, you find yourself closer to the river side. Not necessarily sure where you are, but as you're looking around and you look, kind of seeing where the sun is, you look over. Green Hill is still to the east of you, but there is the River Sly trickling through, not trickling, going through. And you are essentially somewhere in an almost like a fisherman's outpost. There seems to be like a little dock with a little boat there, seemingly left and abandoned. But there is Jade, Grong, Essos, Samson, his crew, and the what survivors y'all have had. And you kind of wake up, and you're left alone. So.
Oh. Well, yeah. Good morning, everyone. Where are we? We safe?
Essos will kind of hear you kind of looking around them. We're just near the river. An old fishing post. You were out. And there's no way that we were going to be lugging your big self through town. And honestly, it might not be the best thing to put these people back in town if they were able to get out.
Yeah, I really don't know if I can go back to town. Please, they know me. You didn't see any of my friends, did you? Any of the friends?
No.
So somewhere we can take these people that's safe away from here that they can get to without getting eaten along the way.
I have a few of my people looking for those friends of your not your immediate friends, but the other ones you guys mentioned, and you brought me Harley. That there was a group from Volpine.
Oh, all the way to Volpine. That's a long walk.
No, well, not going to Volpine. You mentioned that there was a group from Volpine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I know, Julian and them are still helping ferry people in and out from time. I don't know if we want to go back along the river. Maybe if we get these people rested and some sort of guide for them, we can get them out of here down south to where the refugees are hiding.
Exactly.
Okay, the name's not showing up. So yeah, essentially with discussions, CJ, just to kind of help you, make sure this was actually working. Yeah, like if I could put it on the map, I guess. Let's put it back into this big map, and then I'll let you discuss. You're essentially, best guess is like somewhere here. You were down here. Now they put you up here somewhere, like an abandoned or disused, like little fishing outpost.
And other group of Volpine friends were approximately where's?
The Volpine friends were all on the eastern or western front. Remember, that'd be like Filbert, Duradrone, all those. Gosh, I have their names and I can't remember them now.
Buckley.
The ones outside of town.
The ones outside of town were down here on the hills, and then those refugees are like way down here somewhere. So keep in mind, eastern front of town is not Essos's territory. It's more like Harley's territory and Zaria, and then they managed to kind of eke out a living on the western side. That's what's allowing them to do the ferries with Vinny and his crew and Julian.
Yeah. If you can get us to the southwest side of town, outside of even if we can just walk around the outside edge, but safe. I can lead these people to safety, or to others who can take them to safety. And I'm not getting on my own, but I don't really know how to get around safely to the other side of town.
Well, problem is, again, Harley's faithful and them have an eye out all over the east, and they keep trying to get into the west. As you saw in the alley. We can maybe get people snuck in. You don't look like you should be moving much, though. How are you? You still look like hell. Like, you look rested, but you look like hell.
I'm fine. I'm fine. Don't worry about that. They've been through hell. I've been through. Did I tell you I was in a swamp for like what felt like a year? I've seen worse. I'll be okay. Just I need to get Jade and these people somewhere safe, and I'm not leaving them until I know that they're safe, and then I will go find the Crass Menagerie. I'm sure that they'll find. Hopefully, I don't know how. Anyways, they went poof. Did I mention that they're gone?
You mentioned that, but you said they weren't dead, and then you very quickly, shortly thereafter, just kind of collapsed.
Could be dead. I don't. I hope they're not. They just disappeared.
Well, what does your gut say?
My gut says this is the Crass Menagerie. And there's a stout little dwarf with them that I don't think he can be killed, so I'm sure they're fine.
Okay. Well, hold on to that. We'll plan a way to get. And as you've been kind of talking, they kind of threw, and it's not a large shack and everything. You've stepped out, and you do see that some of the individuals are just kind of in the river, kind of cleaning up, getting weeks of grime and filth off of them. And it's probably not the first time that they jumped into the river, honestly. It's probably the second or third time since you've been out. It's a decently nice morning. The sun is coming through. There are still clouds. There are, of course, the biting insects, but something you learn to deal with around here. Grung is just out with seemingly just whittling away some sort of, larger stick that he found, seemingly making some sort of spear or something. And then you look over and you see that there's multiple sets of just improvised weapons getting ready to be used if needed.
You can just look at those and being like, those are just toothpicks. I hope you don't plan on fighting ogres and giants with them. Because, yeah, toothpicks. And then I stripped naked and cannonball into the water because I was covered in poo.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Like
interesting.
out of your shell, even? No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Yeah, full poop out of my
Put the shell to the side.
Only worked that way. But no,
honestly.
Yeah, Rock, it takes you a little bit because you like to carry your home on your back, as it were. But put all your things down, and you very gently put down your little potted plant. Strip down, cannonball, enjoy yourself, and it feels nice. And as you're swimming, all the little fishies just start to nibble away at your little muck and grime as well, because you're just a very attractive meal right now to the little fishies. But it's nice. The water's cool, refreshing. It is, runoff from the mountains off to the east. And it's been cutting and carving its way through the forest, so it's not cold, but it is cool. Yeah, you get to refresh, get to clean. Anything in particular, or just enjoying yourself?
Just cleaning up, enjoying myself,
Okay.
enjoying the feel of the fishies.
Yeah. After a substantial soak and feeling it's time to return to the group, you see Isos and Grung and Samson and a few of the others are kind of gathered having discussions. And Rock, clean up well. So we think we can get them to the west. And maybe by the time I get there, maybe some of my scouts have found your friends from Volpine. And maybe we can all figure out something to do. Get them to Julian, to Vinny. No guarantee that they're going to get out anytime too soon. But And I mean, we discussed it, and none of them are sure that they have any family left. Honestly. So.
You know, at least they're alive and out of the camps, and you know what? Eventually, they'll get their homes back.
Mm. So, at some point while you're, discussing it, soaking it in, the sun a little bit, another individual, some hours later, does come running up to the fishing post. Seemingly similar to what, Esos's crew runs in, and it catches your attention, and he, gives Esos a head nod, starts whispering in his ear, discussing some things, and says, "All right, looks like good news, bad news. What would you like first?" He's looking directly at you, Rock.
Bad news first. Always bad.
Bad news. Bad news is there's rumors that something weird is happening in the river, and it's getting people anxious and uncertain. Good news is it's drawing a lot of eyes towards it, so we might be able to have our opportunity to get these people in and off the side. Again, going on the bad news, they're starting to think it's something that maybe the mother is angry. Maybe there's a whole bunch of the faithful.
I think if the mother's angry, I would consider it good news to get into it.
But yeah, good
But-
news. I think we were able to sneak. Maybe half the eyes will be on us, so we might be able to get everybody over to the side.
Let's do it then. Are you guys able to take care of everyone? I don't want to see this river disturbance.
I mean, if you want to stay, we're just sure we can take care of everybody. You sure you're gonna stay on this side?
Well, where is the disturbance? Is it on this side?
Yeah, it's essentially the eastern side of the river before it gets into town.
Yeah, I'll be fine. You guys get them to safety. I am expecting them to be safe. I will come looking eventually, and if you guys don't keep them safe, I will some stern words for you. Maybe burn one of your houses down.
And you'll just hear Grung kind of in the back. That is if, Isos doesn't run away. Just with a big old shitting grin on his face. And they go ahead and start gathering all the people.
All friends here.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a couple questions for you.
Okay, me as DM or people?
Yes.
Okay, sure. Yep, go for it.
I just rolled my portents. Assuming that's
Oh, yeah.
okay. And do my boots and my staff and everything reset?
Yeah. There's nothing crazy. So yeah, you get the benefits of Dawn. So what are your portents?
19 and 3.
Okay, very good splits. That's what you want to have. Very nice, very nice.
2 for my staff.
2 for your staff.
The broken engine, sorry.
Oh, broken engine. There we go. All right. Oh, I completely forgot I had that. Like this entire time, the little Orby thing has just been, as you've been like knocked out. I kind of need to work on this. It's just been kind of like floating around and seemingly like just not leaving your side. It's just like. There would have been discussions about what the hell is this thing, but anyways, I missed that opportunity. So
It's mine. That's mine. We're friends.
it's mine. So you got a 2. Okay. Oh, nice.
2.
Distance spell. Okay, cool.
And then you said if I wanted to heal with it first?
Yeah, so basically when you take your long rest, right, it should automatically reset whatever hit die you were missing. Should give you half of them back. So
That's
now you're able to, take a healer's kit and like all that, and then we'll say that if you don't have it, the supplies that you got from Nina's can suffice, and you're able to patch yourself up a little bit, and now you're allowed to use your hit die to heal. So go ahead and start
Yeah, I'm
rolling
down to 2 cards
HP.
for that, and no rations. So I hope they.
There was some food just gathered. You saw some of the, we'll say, because I didn't paint the most obvious, beautiful picture. Some people had some fish line and hooks that seemingly were brought with them that the thieves brought, and they were pulling out some sort of fish. There was a small fire off to the side. Seemingly, they were controlling the smoke, so it wasn't like obvious that someone was here. They're good at hiding. And there were some cooked fish. There were some edible greens and stuff. So you may be able to get a meal this morning. You're able to reset your spells, all that stuff.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do a quick spell shuffle too. But
Okay. Cool.
Okay, so I healed 24 and then I used one level 1 spell.
Okay, you heal 24 with your Constitution modifier, right?
Yeah, I used
Okay.
So that was all my dice.
Cool.
And then luckily I rolled a 6 and 6 on my heal spell and get 13 back. That puts me in.
Gotcha. All right, cool. All right, so yeah, so I'm gonna just refresh, make sure your HP looks
73.
all right. Yeah, cool. All right, I see that now. All right, we'll just say for some little expediency, Rock. Eventually, the Isos the fleet, Jade, Grung, Samson, all of them take the survivors, and one more time say, "You sure you don't want to come with us?" Obviously, you say no, and they tell you, "Well, go ahead."
I'll be okay. I've got some other tricks I can see. Thank you for saving me and for saving these people. Yeah, appreciate it.
Grung will speak up and say, "Thank you for not forgetting this town."
Is there still value and money in this town? Can you buy supplies if you provided with money?
Isos kind of grins. He's like, "We got supplies. We got means. We'll try to track down your friends from Volpine. We'll try to get everybody synced up and try to get these people on Julian's boat out of here. We'll make it happen. We're looking at this distraction as a positive omen. Let's call it that way. So, good luck, Rock.
Be safe, friends.
Be safe. And Rock, you're able to part ways, traveling along the river easy enough, because eventually the river will lead you to Green Hill. And as you start to kind of, there's not nearly as many hills on this side of town. There are some, and as you kind of crest over one of the hills, you do see off to the distance just a gathering of ogres, humanoids, all seemingly in brown, and the river, or like around on both sides of the river, they've kind of come to gather, and it's a little bit of a ways away from Green Hill proper. But there's a massive just people watching. Too far away for you to pick up anything like auditory, like no sounds or anything. But that's where we'll say we'll take a break and we'll come back to probably the people in the ethereal for a moment.